Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first Petite PD, coming to you from this sunny grotto. I think it's where we all want to be right now. So welcome. I hope that this message meets you and you are healthy and you are safe and you are doing well. This is a very trying, but also kind of exciting time as far as our professional learning and growth with entering the digital world. That said, there's been a lot of changes to life all at one time. So hopefully these Petite PDs will provide you with some strategies and just a little way to get some ideas as you're entering this brand new journey. I've sent out in my email some other opportunities that we can kind of connect. That way, I would love to be able to support you through the end of your teaching year, whether it be face-to-face, fingers crossed, or virtually. So we'll be doing these Petite PDs, we'll be doing some Zoom meetings, and if you want to include me in your courses that you're setting up for your teachers, I can be just an adult perspective on what the student perspective is like, to see if, what things look like from their perspective. You could just add me as a student. And so just different ways that I can be accessible to you and support you, just as I've done, and continue to help you to be successful and help your students be successful. I miss seeing you guys, and I hope everyone is doing well. And hopefully we'll have a lot of fun with these Petite PDs. So today we're going to start with a website that we have. So this is the North Carolina, or UNC Charlotte, North Carolina New Teacher Support Program resource page. Say that fast 3 times. And what we've done is we have a bunch of resources for you. Everything from e-learning resources to self-care, which is super important right now as we're having all these changes and we're teaching from home as well as being with families and our quarantine. There's a link here for a document for webinars that allows you to see what learning opportunities are available for you. And then we have all different resources, all different grade levels. We've got some best practice articles and some project-based learning. This is a work in progress, but we will be adding to it. And so this is here for you if you're just looking for different resources and different ways to meet your students' needs. Another site that I have for you is actually called Calendly. I'm going to log out so you can see what it looks like. They are offering this as one of the tools that has the pro version for free until I think June, when hopefully we'll know a little bit more, in the upcoming weeks. But this is also a free resource as well. So if you were to use it, you can continue to use it after all of those pro versions expire. It's super easy to sign up. You just enter your email. I actually logged in with my Google account. And all of these links are in the chat. That way you can access them. And this is what it looks like. Calendly would be a great resource if you're having to hold office hours or if you want to meet with certain groups of students or individuals virtually. So it links and integrates with your Google Calendar. And what it will do is it allows you to copy a link here so you can send out a link. The person who receives the link will have access to your calendar, and then they're able to sign up with whatever time slot you're available and fits with their schedule. And you can change any of these. The cool thing about this too is that you can schedule not only a one-on-one session, but also a group session. So even if you're planning with PD or PLCs and you are wanting to meet with maybe smaller groups of students, this could be an option. The one thing that I did find is that what you do want to do is try to set up a separate calendar so it shows you as open. That way there's more opportunities for people to schedule you. If I show you my regular work calendar, you can see that it's super full right now. But there are some things that I can move on here if a teacher wanted to meet with me. That said, I have to keep my work calendar as well. So I set up a Calendly calendar, and that's real easy to do. If you go to other calendars here, and then you click the plus sign, you just do create a new calendar. I'm gonna write that as sample. Oops. So I'm gonna just create the calendar. And it'll bring up all the different choices that you could have in settings, but just to show you, here's my sample calendar now. And now when I go in Calendly, I can then connect my new calendar with my Calendly. And it will check for contacts. And the cool thing about this too is the add to calendar, I actually have anything. The check for conflicts is off of the calendar that I created specifically for this Calendly app, but the calendar that the appointments get added to is actually the one that I'm using the most frequently. So those are just the little tips and tricks for Calendly. Another thing that I wanted to share with you is Educreations. Now we've talked about this in our PDs, I think with some of you, but we've never really had an opportunity to explore it. So Educreations is a super simple resource if you want to provide a mini lesson or you want to provide some modeling or demonstration to accompany student work. If so, let's say I have students working problems, I can create an Educreations that students can then watch to support their comprehension and their ability to solve those problems. Super simple again to use. You would just do teacher sign up. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And again, you can just log in with your Google, which always makes it easier. And this is what will pop up. Now I can immediately start making a lesson. If I wanted to do classes, I can add all my students in. Everything would be housed under the class that it's designated for. But I'm just going to show you today in my lessons. You can then click on new lesson. And this is it. Now I'm going to start to record. And right now I'm creating a mini lesson. I have audio and I have visual. Now I'm also going to tell you a trick that I figured out because sometimes writing with the keypad can be a little difficult. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But if you have just a stylus, I have a stylus. Oop, it's like a magic. There goes my hand. I have a stylus on here. So if you wanted to use a stylus to make it a little easier to write, click a color. If you keep one finger on your mouse pad, so one finger on the mouse pad, and then you use the stylus, you can use the stylus as a pen. And I'm writing with the stylus. So all you really need is that one finger on your mouse pad, and then you can use the stylus as a writing utensil, which makes it a little bit easier to write and to get some things quickly done. All you would do then, my Educreation is done. I've shared what I wanted. I hit save. I can preview the recording, or you can go ahead and it will replay it, or you can go ahead and save it. And I'm just going to put sample lesson. You can decide what you want, if you want it to be published so that everyone can see it, and what subject area. So then you click create. And now if I wanted to share this out, all I would have to do is click on my lesson. I copy the link and I can send it out. I can post it into a bit.ly. Bit.ly is a great URL shortener. Or I could post it to Canvas and embed it as a video. And it's just super easy. It's a great way to do some mini lessons, some demonstrations, to actually be able to show your kids as well as tell them. So that is our resources. One thing I wanted to also share with you, if you go to this link here, and I will put it in the chat as well. This link actually has some samples from one of the other coaches. So there may be things, it's mostly math, but there may be things in here that you could use already completed. Or if you're looking for samples and examples of this, there's resources here. The last thing I want to show you, if you're looking for ways to kind of be able to do more writing on a whiteboard like you would, there is some options. I showed you how to do the stylus, which if you Google that, so pen on computer, there is a video that should pop up here. And this one actually shows you how to make a stylus, but there's drawing with Windows Ink. You could use Google Draw, and I will put in the chat a very short 1-minute video that talks to you about how you just need to keep your finger down, and then you could use your stylus. The other thing is you can actually get something that will help you to draw with your computer. So this is one that is, they have more expensive versions. This is a Walmart one that is $30, but you can see it just looks almost like a mouse pad that you connect to your computer. It comes with its own pen, and then you can literally just write whatever you would need to. So you could have, you can demonstrate like annotating a text, let's say, on this pad, where you literally make your computer a notebook and it acts like a notebook. So those are some additional little tips that you could use with Educreations. But if you want to keep it simple, you can just go into Educreations, create the new lesson, and do what you need to do. One other tip that I do want to share is Educreations may not work for you initially unless you allow the site to use Flash. So all you would have to do in Chrome is click here, and if you go to Flash, you just have to allow it. You will have to allow it every time that you leave that site. You'll just have to give that permission again, or go into your settings and do it always except Flash. So those are 3 resources. I'm going to stop my share now just to come back to you real quick. So we had 3 resources. We had the NTSP resource page that's available to you. We have the Educreations that you could use for your mini lesson or your demonstrations or modeling. And we have the Calendly app, which can help you to be able to meet with students and colleagues and not go back and forth with a lot of emails about when to schedule and when everyone's available. I hope this was helpful. I'm going to continue these Petite PDs. Thank you for participating if you are watching, and I really look forward to speaking with you and hearing how you're doing and supporting you and your students as we enter this new journey that we're all on. I hope you stay well. I hope you stay safe, and just know that I'm thinking of you and I'm cheering you on from afar. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.